Hello friend, this is Rupesh and you're watching CP Nerds video series on data structure, and this video is about height of a binary tree. If you're wondering what is height of a binary tree or what is height of a tree, meaning this is one height, second, third and fourth. So there are these levels. Now we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. What if there is another node, maybe like this? Then in that case, this is like 5. This video is sponsored by C++ Builder, a full-featured C++ IDE for building Windows applications quickly. Our customers deliver apps to market 5 times faster using C++ Builder than with other IDEs. That's because of our rich visual frameworks and expensive libraries. Prototyping, developing, and shipping are very easy with C++ Builder. C++ Builder integrates with continuous build configuration using MS Build and CMake, and has HTTP and REST client library on all platforms to invoke REST services and search specific AWS and Azure components. Link is given in the description field. You can check it out. Okay, so the height of this binary tree would be 5. So if your structure is like this, where you have data and left and right, then this can be one of the solution to get the height of a binary tree. So as this is binary tree, we will have two different ways to actually traverse, two different paths like left and right. So let's try to understand how this will work. So initially you will send this node into this function. So root is not null here, we can see that, so it is not returning 0. It will go here and then get max height. So it is calling recursively itself. Now we are going roots left. So this will become new root. Similarly, we'll go from here to here and then from here to here, and then we'll again try to go left because this will always hit. So next would be null. Then we'll return 0 from here, meaning you tried to go here but there was nothing, so you return back with 0 because we are returning 0 here. And after completing this, for this node, you will come back and then you will try to execute this line for this node. Okay, then you will get the same 0 from here also because there is null here. So you got two zeros here. So left is also 0 and right is also 0, but plus 1 would return 1. Okay, so max of left and right plus 1. So here you had 0 and 0, but you will return 1 from here. So you got 1 here, and from 1 you went to left because of this line. So as you are back, then you will start executing this line for this node. Okay, this is recursion, you have to visualize this. So you will try to go right, but there is nothing in this right here, so you will get 0 from here because you will execute this line. So you got 0 from here, so you have two values now at this location because you are returned from this also, right? So after getting return from here, which is this place, you will try to execute this one. So you have left as 1, right as 0 plus 1. So maximum of 1 comma 0 would be 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So you will return 2 here. And similarly, you went to this place because of this left call. So as you're back from here, you will now execute this one, this line, right? Now you will try to execute that, but there is nothing inside this. So you will again get 0 back, and now you have to put this 2 comma 0 plus 1. So as you can see that you will return 3 from here, correct? So 2's left subtree's height is 3. We know that. And the formula is like this: max of left and right subtree plus 1, meaning at some node you will calculate the left hand side subtree's height and right hand side subtree height, and you will add plus 1 because you yourself will have one height. Okay, so this will apply to each and every node, and this is how it will work. And then similarly you will calculate for this guy. Now as you're going from here to here, meaning you are done with your full left hand side, meaning you are done with this line. Now you're going to execute this line for this node. Okay, and these two lines will get executed for each and every node. So this is how recursion works. And if you feel that it is little confusing how to visualize all these things, then I have another way to actually visualize this. What you can do is you will have boxes like this, and in these boxes you try to assume all these expressions inside these boxes. Okay, and then the input. So first input is 2. So 2 is the input. Now you visualize how this line would look like. So 2's left, meaning 3. So you will have 3 here. So this is calling itself, then it will end up creating another box. So 3 will be the input for this box, and we will have these statements. Now you again think, what is the input for this one? This time it is 1. So 1. So because of this one, it will create another box. 1 will be the input for this box. Boxes meaning call stacks. Okay. Now 1 is the input. You will have these statements, all these statements. So now as 1 is the root for this stack, and these are the expression, then roots left would be 2. So here you will have 2. So because of 2, you will call yourself again, then 2 is the input for another call stack. And here we have these statements. Now this is very important. 2's left is null. So now you are passing null here, and null will be the input. So this n, and then we have these statements again. N meaning null is the input, meaning root is in null now. Then this statement will actually return. Now this is the magic. It is returning 0, meaning, see, you called this at this statement. This statement is nothing but this one. Okay, you called and you went from here to this call stack. Now you are done with this and you are coming back, meaning you will go back to this line only in this call stack. And what is left? This is left. So you will try to execute this line for what root, meaning what node? Second node. So now you will go for right hand side for this node. So the again null will go, and then this first statement, we have 3 statements or 4 actually, but this first statement will tell it is 0. I mean it is null, then it will return 0. So right hand side statement also got 0. So you got 0 here, you got 0 here, meaning 0 here and 0 here. And then you will do your operation like 0, 0, meaning max of 0, 0 would be 0 plus 1 would be 1. And then you are returning that statement in the end. Returning meaning you will go from here to here, because you came to this stack because of this line. And this is nothing but your this line. So now if you are going back, you will have to execute the leftovers. So you have to execute this line now. So because of this, you will have another call stack. So this is how it actually works. I hope it would have helped to visualize all these things. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye. Take care.